"You're done here." That's how it started. No warning, no meeting request, no "can we talk?" Just 3 words dropped across a glass desk like they meant nothing. I looked at her. New face. Fresh, higher energy. Too polished. Too confident. She didn't even look up from her screen when she said it. Typing, scrolling, like she was ordering lunch, not ending someone's career. "Effective immediately," she added, still not making eye contact. Behind her stood a nervous HR kid, first week on the job, I could tell. Hands shaking like he just walked into a crime scene he didn't sign up for. I leaned back in my chair. Slow. Calm. Measured. "Interesting," I said. That made her pause. Just a second. Then she finally looked up. "You'll be escorted out," she said. Voice rehearsed, like she practiced that line in the mirror. I smiled. Not big, just enough. Because here's the thing. People think power is loud. It's not. Power is quiet. I stood up, adjusted my jacket, picked up my phone. "Before I go," I said, "I might want to check your calendar." She frowned. "There's a board meeting in, let me see." I tapped my watch. 2 hours. Her expression didn't change, but her fingers stopped moving. "I might want to be ready for that," I added. She scoffed. Actually scoffed. "I run the strategy division now," she said. Now I laughed. Soft. Almost to myself. "Yeah," I said. "For now." I handed my badge to security on the way out. Didn't argue, didn't beg, didn't even look back. Because I already knew something she didn't. She thought she fired me, but what she really did was pull the pin. And yeah, before we go further, if this already got your attention, hit like, subscribe, whatever you gotta do. Not for me, for stories like this. Because trust me, this one gets crazy. Now listen. 2 hours. That's all it took. While she was upstairs playing CEO cosplay, I was downstairs making one call. Just one. Activate clause 9B. Silence on the other end. Then, "You serious?" "Dead serious," I said. Pause. Then a slow exhale. "All right, it's your call." Click. Now here's what she didn't know, what nobody in that building knew. I never cared about titles, didn't want the corner office, didn't want my name on the door. I wanted leverage. So while everyone else was chasing promotions, I was collecting something else. Pieces. Tiny percentages. 0.5% here, 1% there. Every deal, every crisis, every time the company almost fell apart, I stepped in, fixed it, and instead of bonuses, I asked for equity. People laughed at first. Why not take the money? Because money disappears. Ownership doesn't. Fast forward 10 years. I wasn't the CEO, wasn't even listed on the website, but I owned 63% of the company. Yeah. Let that sink in. Majority shareholder. Silent. Invisible. Untouchable. And buried deep inside the company bylaws was a little clause. Clause 9B. A safety switch. It said, if a non-equity executive fires a senior officer without board approval, All authority gets suspended immediately. Everything. Titles, access, control, gone. And control reverts to the majority shareholder. Me. So when she said, "You're done here," what she actually did was trigger the system. Automatically, irreversibly. By the time I reached the parking lot, emails were already going out. Legal notices, board alerts, emergency meeting requests, all stamped, signed, locked. Upstairs, she had no clue. She was probably celebrating, texting her husband. First big decision made. Maybe even drafting a LinkedIn post. You know the type. Leadership requires tough choices. Yeah, that one. Meanwhile, the boardroom doors were opening, chairs filling up, papers being laid out, and one empty seat at the head of the table, waiting for the person she thought she got rid of. But the truth, you don't fire someone who owns the building. You just remind them it's theirs.
The boardroom was already full when I walked in. Not loud, not chaotic, quiet. The kind of quiet that makes people sit straighter, talk less, think more. Every seat taken, except one, at the head of the table, mine. I didn't rush, didn't acknowledge anyone, just walked straight in like I'd never left, because I hadn't. I pulled the chair back, sat down, slow, deliberate, and that's when I saw her, at the far end, the same girl who fired me 2 hours ago, except now, no confidence, no attitude, just confusion. "Good afternoon," she said, trying to sound in control. Nobody responded. I opened the folder in front of me, didn't look at her, didn't need to. "Let's begin," I said. My voice didn't raise, didn't need to, because authority doesn't shout, it lands. Legal cleared his throat. "Clause 9B has been verified, activated, and accepted." I nodded. "Then we proceed." I finally looked at her. "Your name?" She blinked, caught off guard. "You know my name." I tilted my head slightly. "Not anymore." That hit harder than yelling ever could. "My appointment was approved by—" "Your appointment," I cut in, calm, "was borrowed." Silence. "You don't own equity. You don't hold voting rights. You don't have authority." I leaned back slightly. "You had permission." Her lips parted. No words came out. The founder shifted in his seat, nervous, sweating. He knew. "Let's move forward," I said. Legal slid documents across the table. "Motion to revoke all executive actions taken within the last 24 hours. Every hand went up. Unanimous. Just like that, everything she did, erased. Her face dropped. "That's not fair," she whispered. I almost smiled. "Fair?" I said, softly. "You walked into a company you didn't build, fired someone you didn't understand, and now you're talking about fair?" She looked at the founder. "Say something," she pleaded. He didn't. Couldn't. Because for the first time, he realized something. He didn't run this company. He never did. I closed the folder. Now we deal with consequences. The room tightened. "Effective immediately," I said, "you are removed from all positions." She stood up. "You can't do that." I didn't react. I just did. Security stepped closer. Not aggressive, just present. Her voice cracked. "This is insane. I was just doing my job." I finally leaned forward. "No," I said. "You were playing with power you didn't earn." That broke her. Not loudly, not dramatically,
Just quietly, like reality finally hit. She looked around. No allies, no support, just eyes avoiding hers. "I'm family," she said weakly. I nodded once. "And this is business." That was the end. She didn't fight anymore, didn't argue, just picked up her bag and walked out. Same hallway, same doors, but this time, everyone watched, because now they understood. Power had shifted. No, power had returned. The door closed behind her, and the room stayed silent for a moment. Then I turned to the founder. Now it was his turn. "You knew about the clause," I said. He didn't deny it, just looked tired. "I didn't think—" "That's the problem," I said. "You didn't think." Silence. "I trusted you," he said quietly. I shook my head. "No," I replied. "You trusted the idea that I'd never use it." That hurt him more than anything, because it was true. I slid 2 documents across the table. "Your options." He looked down. Buyout or surrender control. His hands trembled slightly. "This is revenge," he muttered. I leaned back. "No, this is structure." Long pause. "You built a company. I built a system." Another pause. "And systems don't care about emotions." The room felt heavier. He looked around, at the board, at the empty seat where she sat, at everything he thought he owned, then back at me. "I'll sign," he said. Quiet. Broken. I nodded. Good choice. Meeting ended. No applause, no celebration, just reality. People stood up, left one by one, and just like that, everything changed. Next morning, no announcement, no emails, just one update. Executive chairwoman, me. Clean, simple, final. She never came back. The founder retired quietly, and the company ran better than ever. No chaos, no ego, just structure. Because here's the truth nobody tells you. Power isn't about who sits in the chair, it's about who owns the room. And once you understand that, nobody can ever take it from you, unless you let them.